While washing my wife's underwear, I noticed a yellow burn mark on the crotch. Curious, I brought it up to my nose. It reeked of cigarette smoke, but I didn't remember ever dropping ash on her panties, and my wife definitely doesn't smoke. I stood there frozen, holding the underwear. A million possibilities flashed through my mind. Just then, my phone lit up. It was a text from her. I have to catch up on the project schedule tonight. Don't wait up for me. Get some rest. I was the one who got Xiao Yu her job, working as an assistant at an anime company. It was supposed to be a very relaxed gig, but lately, she's been working overtime and coming home late into the night. I used to think it was just normal for the industry, but right now, it felt like a bucket of ice water had been poured over me. That foul smell of cigarette smoke. Someone clearly left it there on purpose. Suppressing my emotions, I texted back. Where are you working overtime? Let me come pick you up. No need. The office is a mess right now. I don't even know when it'll be done. Putting my own work aside, I drove straight to her company. Only the third floor of the building was still lit. Faint sounds of laughter and talking drifted down. But I didn't go upstairs. Instead, I called Xiao Yu. I am waiting downstairs. It's not safe this late at night. Why did you actually come? I am in the middle of something. Just go home first. The panic in her voice made my heart sink. After hanging up, I slipped into the emergency exit to watch in secret. Before long, she and a guy in a gray suit walked out together. The two of them were making out passionately in front of a luxury car. Looks like my guess was right. She had betrayed our family. I wanted nothing more than to rush out and beat them half to death. But then I heard the man's teasing words. That honest guy of yours is pretty clingy, huh? Don't bring him up. But he's so annoying. When he called last time, didn't we just keep going anyway? How was it? Thrilling, right? How about we go for another round? Oh my, you're so bad. The man turned his face toward the light. I recognized him. He was the creative director at Xiao Yu's company, Chen, and a married man of many years. He frequently appeared in industry magazines. Right now, seeing them act as intimate as a married couple, my head throbbed with a splitting pain, but reason held back my impulsive rage. If I rushed out now, it would just be a humiliating farce. I needed to get solid evidence. To completely ruin their reputations, I raised my phone and quietly recorded them all tangled up together. Watching that luxury car shake, I let out a bitter laugh. I worked my ass off to make money, just to give her a peaceful home. To scrape together the 200,000 yuan down payment, I swallowed every hardship, finally managed to buy a house and get married. Yet, after barely a year, she was sneaking around behind my back doing this, staring at the disgusting video on my phone. A cold smirk slowly crept onto my face. Wang Xiaoyu. Seeking thrills comes with a price. I am going to give you the surprise of a lifetime. It wasn't until 2 a.m. that Xiaoyu finally came home. She tiptoed into bed, still carrying that unfamiliar scent of cigarette smoke, mixed with her perfume. He kept my eyes shut tight, listening to her steady breathing, while my mind couldn't stop, replaying the scene in the parking lot. I didn't have the energy for a showdown. Impulsiveness is the cheapest emotion. What I needed was a precise counterattack. The next morning, I prepared breakfast for her as usual. Toast with a fried egg, and a glass of soy milk. You worked so late last night. Sleep in a bit today. I can't. Today, the director is taking me to meet a client. When she said that, a flash of smugness crossed her eyes. Meeting clients is a good thing. It shows management values you. I kept my head down, peeling fruit. The knife hit the cutting board with a steady, rhythmic thud. After seeing her out the door, I didn't go to work. I took an annual leave day instead. Booting up my computer, I began systematically gathering information. I met up with an old classmate who works at a cybersecurity firm, AG, wearing his black-rimmed glasses. After hearing my story, he stayed silent for a moment. Have you thought this through? Once you go down this path, there's no turning back. From the moment I found out the truth, turning back was already impossible. Through legal channels, I can help you with 3 things. First, recover her deleted chat history. Second, track Chenan's public financial records. Third, investigate the shareholder structure of his company. Anything beyond that, I can't get involved in. That's more than enough. A week later, Xiao Yu said she had a sudden industry seminar to attend, 3 days and 2 nights. I helped her pack her luggage and slipped a micro GPS tracker into the lining of her suitcase. She threw her arms around my neck, acting all sweet. Hubby, you're so good to me. Yet on her neck, I could smell the men's cologne Chen and always wore. I gently patted her back, like comforting a death row inmate about to take the stand. Once she left, I opened the tracking app. The red dot showed the place she checked into. It wasn't the 4-star hotel designated for the seminar. It was a high-end resort villa 30 kilometers away, with a room rate of 4,800 yuan a night, way beyond what her salary could afford. I took screenshots to save all the location data. Then I started organizing the documents Ajie sent me. Chen An's background was more interesting than I thought. His title of creative director was actually just an empty shell. The real core team was based in another city. He was nothing but a figurehead propping up the branch's image, and the only reason he could secure this position was all thanks to his wife, Su Yuan. Su Yuan's father was the chairman of the local Building Materials Association. Nearly 60% of the company's business came from the Su family's connections. Chen An's reputation in the industry was absolute garbage, from skimming his subordinates' project bonuses, to faking travel expenses, and even embezzling company reserve funds to play the stock market. The most ironic part was, this man who constantly preached about family-first responsibilities on social media had been separated from Su Yuan for 2 years. Their separation agreement clearly stated that if Chen committed infidelity again, he would walk away with nothing and pay a massive settlement. Looking at the mountain of evidence on my screen, I suddenly burst out laughing. Xiao Yu thought she had climbed up to a high branch. Little did she know, it was just a rotting piece of wood about to collapse. 3 days later, Xiao Yu dragged her suitcase home. A new Bulgari necklace had appeared around her neck. I gained so much from this trip. Director Chen even introduced me to a few more investors. Oh really? That's great. I picked up her phone. As I swiped through, I pretended to accidentally tap the recently deleted folder in her photo album. Inside, there were a few photos of her and Chen, and together by the villa's pool. Even though they were deleted, the thumbnails were still clearly visible. The color instantly drained from her face. What? What are you looking at? What's wrong? I am just looking at your professional photos. I feigned ignorance, but in my mind, I memorized the timestamps of those photos. They perfectly matched the time she told me she was in meetings. Early the next morning, I bumped into our neighbor, Auntie Lai, downstairs. Her daughter also worked as an accountant at Xiao Yu's company. She was usually a huge gossip. Xiao Zhang, is your Xiao Yu getting a promotion soon? Why do you say that? My daughter said. Your Xiao Yu and that director Chen are awfully close. They even went on a private business trip last week. There's a lot of talk going around the office. You should keep an eye on things. I gave a bitter smile and shook my head. Xiao Yu is just doing it for work. I trust her. As soon as she walked away, the smile vanished from my face. Looks like they couldn't even be bothered to do the bare minimum of hiding it. I met up with De Liu, a lawyer friend of mine. He's quite well known in divorce litigation. After hearing my story, he poured me a cup of tea and said, from a legal standpoint, you need to accomplish 3 things. First, get solid evidence of her infidelity. Second, get a clear picture of all your joint marital assets. Third, figure out her attitude and bottom line in all this. I am already gathering the evidence. As for the assets, we just bought the house a year ago. My parents covered the 800,000 yuan down payment, and the mortgage is in my name. She basically spends her entire salary on herself. I handle all the household expenses. Then you need to act fast. If she makes any large expenditures during this time, or tries to hide assets, you need to secure the evidence immediately. Liu listed out a checklist for me, including bank statements, property deed copies, chat histories, notarizations. 17 items in total. Over the weekend, Xiao Yu said she wanted to have dinner at her parents' house. I brought along 2 boxes of premium tea and a massager, and went over with her. Oh, Xiao Zhang, you didn't have to bring so many gifts. At the dinner table, Xiao Yu's mother kept dropping hints, talking about how much pressure young people face nowadays. Then she brought up someone's daughter, who got a 660,000 yuan bride price. The way I see it, Xiao Yu's income has gone up quite a bit. You too should consider upgrading to a better car. Driving your old car to meet clients is embarrassing. I kept my head down and ate my rice, reluctantly playing along. Yes, you're right. Once the project bonus comes in next year, well, change cars. As we were leaving, Xiao Yu's younger brother, Xiao Bing, leaned in and whispered in my ear, brother-in-law, I am looking to invest in a bubble tea shop, but I am a little short on startup capital. Do you think you could lend me 50,000 yuan? I'll pay you back in half a year. I'll have to discuss this with your sister first. She manages the money. After all, I smiled and passed the buck to Xiao Yu. She glared at me, then hurriedly dragged me away. On the way home, Xiao Yu spoke up first. Don't mind Xiao Bing, he's a bottomless pit. I know, but, Xiao Yu, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. If we had a lot of money right now, what would you want to do most? Why are you suddenly asking this? Well, I just feel like we've been married for over a year, and I've let you suffer too many grievances. She pondered for a long time, then softly said, I want to open my own studio, to be an independent designer, not having to read other people's moods, not having to work overtime every day. Too bad the startup capital would be at least 500,000 yuan. That day will come. As I gave her a kiss, my heart was completely ice cold. Turns out she had already planned her exit strategy, using my money to fulfill her dreams. Under the guise of a work consultation, I went to a law firm downstairs from Xiao Yu's company. Coincidentally, among this law firm's clients was the family business of Su Yuan, Chen An's wife. Through a broker, I managed to book an appointment with Su Yuan's personal lawyer, Lawyer Zhou. In a quiet, private tea room, I got straight to the point. Lawyer Zhou, I believe you must have heard about Mr. Chen An's recent behavior. Mr. Zhang, you don't follow. I unlocked my phone and slid it across the table to him. On the screen was the photo of Xiao Yu and Chen and at the resort villa. This is a photo I recovered from her cloud backup. It's a bit blurry, but you can still make out their faces. The lawyer Zhao's expression finally relaxed. What is it you want? I just want to take back what's mine. As for Chenan, he needs to pay the price for his actions. He looked closely at the photo, then looked up to size me up. We talked for a solid hour. Lawyer Zhou accepted a copy of the photo and gave me a promise. Su Yuan's side would coordinate with my timeline, and we would strike simultaneously at the right moment. I pulled Xiao Yu's bank statements from the past 6 months. Sure enough, starting 3 months ago, her account had been receiving a monthly transfer of 20,000 yuan. The memo read project bonus. The memo read project bonus. The memo read project bonus. But during that same period, in the company's official bonus payout records, her name was nowhere to be found. The funniest part was, she used this money to buy designer bags and jewelry. Yet she constantly complained to me that her salary wasn't enough, and that she wanted to switch to a higher-paying job. I printed out all the statements, and highlighted the suspicious transactions. Then I went to the Housing Management Bureau to pull the property records for our house. Luckily, the house was registered solely under my name, back when we bought it. She complained that the paperwork was too much of a hassle, and said, "You can just sign it yourself." I actually thought she trusted me. Thinking back, she was probably preparing her exit strategy all along. That night when Xiao Yu got home, she looked incredibly excited. "Oh, hubby, my company is expanding into a new business sector. Director Chen said he could let me invest. Just 300,000 yuan gets me a 5% bonus share. Next year's dividends will at least double our money." 300,000? We don't have that kind of cash lying around. Then let's take out a second mortgage on the house. The market is good right now. We could easily borrow 800,000. Besides the investment money, we could also upgrade our car and renovate the house. She rambled on, painting a beautiful picture of our future. Meanwhile, I broke out in a cold sweat, so their plan had already reached this stage. Not only did they want to destroy my marriage, they wanted to squeeze every last drop of value out of me. This is a huge deal. I need to think about it. What's there to think about? Opportunity waits for no one. Director Chen already said, he's only holding this spot for me for 3 days. Her impatience laid bare all her greedy ambitions. I looked at her face, flushed with excitement, and suddenly felt a profound sense of sorrow. All right, I'll go to the bank tomorrow and ask about it. That's amazing. She planted a kiss on my cheek. I am going to take a shower. Be careful. Once she went to shower, I scrubbed that kiss off my face. I sought out the private investigator at GA recommended. Lao Zheng. He was in his 50s, with an ordinary appearance, looking just like any other middle-aged guy on the street. "Mr. Zhang, I'll have the documents you need in 3 days." I gave him Chen An's license plate number, the places he frequented, along with Xiao Yu's basic information. When Lao Zhang took the envelope, he muttered quietly, "I've seen plenty of this type. Don't worry. I'll dig so deep I'll even find out what color underwear he's wearing." I met up with the receptionist at Xiao Yu's company, Xiao Mei. She was a close friend of my cousin. She had previously dropped hints, telling me I should pay more attention to Xiao Yu. "Mr. Zhang, I really don't want to gossip, but the thing between Xiao Yu and Director Chen, pretty much everyone in the company knows about it." Xiao Mei told me Chen and frequently used meeting clients as an excuse to take Xiao Yu out. Sometimes they'd leave in the afternoon and wouldn't show up until the next day. They even openly flirt in the office. Once, they were even making out in the pantry. The cleaning lady caught them. The worst part is, last week, Director Chen announced in front of everyone that he wanted to promote Xiao Yu to deputy department manager. But that position was supposed to go to Sister Liu. Sister Liu has been working there for 8 years. Sister Liu has been working there for 8 years. Doesn't upper management care? Who would dare? Director Chen was sent down from headquarters. Besides, I heard his wife's family is very powerful. After Xiao Mei left, I sat alone in the cafe for a long time. Outside the window, the streets were bustling with traffic. Everyone was rushing by, brushing past one another, hurrying toward their own brilliant or bleak lives. Old Zhang handed me a thick folder of documents. This guy Chenin is quite the talent. As for his affairs, I've dug up at least 4 different women. He embezzled company funds to gamble in Macau, and owes over 2 million yuan. Now he's just robbing Peter to pay Paul. Barely scraping by. Now he's just robbing Peter to pay Paul. Barely scraping by. The file contained CCTV screenshots of Chen, and at the casino, photos of loan shark contracts, and even his medical records for treating instead. As for your wife, she's been consulting a divorce lawyer recently. She's been asking how to get a cut of the husband's premarital assets, and whether the wife's infidelity affects the division of property. Stuff like that. Mr. Zhang, I advise you to act as soon as possible. Judging from their chat history, they're planning to start the divorce proceedings next month, when the time comes. Shall file for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, demand half the house, and even ask for emotional distress compensation. Next month, he got it. I paid the remaining balance. Clutching the folder, I walked out of the building. The sun was blindingly bright, but I felt a bone-chilling cold. I began organizing all the evidence, categorizing it clearly. Category 1, evidence of Xiao Yu and Chen An's affair, photos, videos, and hotel booking records. Category 2, evidence of Chen An's financial crimes. Evidence of Chen An's financial crimes, embezzlement, gambling, loan sharks, account details, 703 million, 529D, 203.cat set, Dotty 213 million. Category 3, evidence of Xiao Yu scheming to transfer assets, bank statements, lawyer consultation records. Category 4, evidence of Xiao Yu's family extorting money from me. Evidence of Xiao Yu's family extorting money from me. Voice recordings, chat histories. I made 3 copies of these documents, one for lawyer Zhou, one for Daliu, and one for myself. Then, I did 2 things. First, I went to the bank, changed all my card passwords, and transferred most of the money out, leaving only a little in the accounts. This was a legal move suggested by Dalu. It falls under preventative measures against malicious asset transfers. Second, I installed hidden cameras near the doors and windows at home. If they wanted to put on a show, it'd build them the grandest stage possible. Xiao Yu demanded to go back to her parents' house again. This time, her younger brother, Xiao Bing, laid his cards on the table. Brother-in-law, my girlfriend is pregnant. We need to buy a house and get married as soon as possible. Could you lend me 300,000 yuan for now? Just consider it an advance on my bride price. Xiao Yu's parents chimed in to help him out. 300,000 isn't a small amount. I need to go back and check how much is left in my cards. What's there to check? Your house is worth almost 4 million on the market now. Taking out a mortgage for a few $100,000 should be a piece of cake, right? I finally understood why this family was so greedy. They had always seen me as their personal ATM. They wanted to squeeze every last drop of value out of me before the truth came out. A mortgage requires both husband and wife to sign. Xiao Yu, what do you think? What do you think? Xiao Yu had no choice but to play the peacemaker. Let's talk about this later. Xiao Bing, seriously, 300,000 isn't something you can just pull out of thin air. But the look in her eyes told me she was losing her patience. That night, for the first time, Xiao Yu brought up the future on her own. Hubby, if we ever break up in the future, would you give me half the house? Why are you asking this all of a sudden? I've just been watching the news lately, and I see so many couples getting divorced, fighting tooth and nail over their houses. If it ever really comes to that, don't worry. I won't let you get the short end of the stick. She seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. She turned her back and fell asleep. As for me, I lay there with my eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling, until the first light of dawn broke. Dalu, lawyer Joe, and I held a three-way meeting. Emma Su Wan has prepared all the documents. Including evidence of Chen An's embezzlement, gambling yes, as well as ironclad proof that he violated their separation agreement. We can file a lawsuit at any time. I've also finished preparing the divorce papers on my end. Based on the current evidence, we can accuse the other party of gross misconduct, demand that she leaves with nothing, and also claim compensation for emotional distress. Hold on. Aren't they after money? I laid out my own plan. After hearing it, Dalu and lawyer Zhou pondered for a long time. Are you sure you want to do this? The risks are pretty high. I've been waiting for this day for far too long. I took the initiative to bring up the mortgage with Xiao Yu. I've thought it through. This really is a rare opportunity. I've already contacted the bank. We can take out a second mortgage. We can borrow up to 1.2 million. Really? Then we can use 1 million for the investment and give 200,000 to my brother for his house. It's perfect. But the bank requires a clear purpose for the loan. The investment funds must be transferred directly to a corporate account, not a personal one. Tell your boss Chen to prepare a formal investment contract. Xiao Yu nodded eagerly. That very day she worked overtime until late at night. I knew damn well she went to strategize with Chen On. Xiao Yu handed me an investment contract. I took one look at it, and it was full of loopholes. The company's registered capital was only 500,000, yet they were accepting an investment of 1 million. The dividend clauses were incredibly vague, and the breach of contract liabilities only bound the investor. I need to have a lawyer look over this contract first. I have a friend who specializes in investment law. They'll take it to him tomorrow. Oh, come on. Would Boss Chen really scam us? His father-in-law's family has such a massive business empire. Even blood brothers need to keep their accounts clear. It's just standard procedure. I took a picture of the contract and sent it to Dalu. He replied with a few words. Fraudulent contract, solid evidence. A week later, Xiao Yu excitedly told me, Chen An has arranged for the company's major shareholders to meet us. The location is set at the most exclusive private club in the city. This meeting is very important. You have to dress sharply and make a good impression. Okay? Don't worry. I know what I am doing. I watched her carefully pick out her outfit and meticulously do her makeup. Suddenly, I remembered the day we registered our marriage a year ago. She had dressed up and done her makeup just as carefully back then. Hubby, we have to stay together for the rest of our lives, okay? Turns out, the rest of our lives was that short. The VIP room in the club was blindingly luxurious. Chen himself was already there. You must be Mr. Zhang, right? Xiao Yu talks about you all the time. She says you're a brilliant young talent. There were also 2 middle-aged men claiming to be company shareholders. Later, old Zhang told me they were just extras, Chen, and hired from the labor market for 500 yuan a day. He reached out his hand. I smiled and shook it. You're too polite? Boss Chen, I've heard from Xiao Yu that you take great care of her. Not at all. Not at all. It's only right. Xiao Yu is an outstanding employee. At the dinner table, Chen rambled on endlessly about the company's prospects. He claimed they were about to land a massive government project. The return on investment would be at least 300%. Throughout the meal, I played along, asking questions at just the right moments, feigning an intense interest in investing. Xiao Yu sat right next to Chen An. The two of them exchanged glances from time to time. Their unspoken chemistry was a real eyesore. When the dinner ended, Chen An patted my shoulder and said, Brother, that 1 million will be in the account by next Monday. You'll get your first dividend next month. All right. I'll go speed up the process. As we left the club, Xiao Yu had her arm through mine, radiating absolute smugness. Hubby, once this investment pays off, let's upgrade to a bigger house, okay? The kind with floor-to-ceiling windows. Sure, whatever you say. The car's stereo started playing her favorite old song again. She hummed along, completely unaware that this would be the last time she'd ever laugh in this car. On Monday morning, Xiao Yu and I went to the bank together to process the mortgage. The credit manager was Wang Lei, my college buddy. I had already discussed everything with him beforehand. Zhang, sister-in-law, the paperwork is all set. The house is appraised at 4.2 million, and the maximum for a second mortgage is 1.26 million. Here is the contract. Xiao Yu took the contract and flipped through it herself. Of course, she didn't understand a thing about those complex financial terms, but when she saw the exact figure of 1.26 million yuan, she couldn't stop the corners of her mouth from curling up. Hubby, sign it. I flipped through all the documents and signed my name. When it was Xiao Yu's turn, she signed without a moment's hesitation. The scratching sound of the pen against the paper sounded exactly like a countdown to Judgment Day. The procedures were completed. Wang Lei informed us that the funds would be dispersed within 3 business days. As we walked out of the bank, Xiao Yu hugged my arm tightly. Hubby, our good days are finally coming. Yeah, they're coming. That night, Xiao Yu actually went into the kitchen and cooked 4 dishes and a soup. This was only the 3rd time since we got married. At the dinner table, she kept putting food in my bowl. Once we get the dividends, let's swap the car for a BMW first. We'll buy that exact one you liked last time. Then, well, go on a trip to Europe. Haven't you always wanted to go to Switzerland? I kept my head down, eating my rice, and just mumbled in agreement. After eating, she broke her usual habit and actually washed the dishes. Then she brushed her teeth, washed her face, and got into bed early. She even took the initiative to snuggle up, wanting to get intimate. I used the excuse of being tired to turn her down. Although she wasn't happy about it, she didn't say anything else. I knew her sudden gentleness and passion were all bought by that 1.26 million. The day the money hit the account, Chen had invited us to his company to sign the formal investment agreement. The company was located in the high-tech district, on the 12th floor of an office building. The decor was incredibly lavish, but there were barely any employees around. Brother, welcome, welcome. This is our CFO, Boss Liu. This so-called Boss Liu was actually one of the extras we met at the CLB the other day. He pulled out a thick contract. I skimmed through the clauses. It looked a bit more professional than the previous one, but the core trap was still there. Once the investment funds were injected, unless the company went bankrupt and liquidated, there would be no way to withdraw the capital. Boss Chen, this money is, after all, my wife and his entire life savings. See if you can add this clause. If the dividends don't reach the promised 50% within a year, my side has the right to demand a withdrawal of funds. Chen On's expression shifted slightly, but he quickly regained his smile. Brother, you're worrying too much. The government project we're about to sign has a profit margin of over 400%. The dividends will definitely exceed your expectations. That's right, hubby. Would Director Chen ever lie to us? I looked over at Xiao Yu. She was looking at me with almost pleading eyes. In that moment, I suddenly felt sorry for her. She thought she had climbed up to a high branch, but in reality, she was taking it step by step.